Well, well, well. How about a drink? Oh. Mm-hmm. Bye-bye. Uh-huh. Nice. Oh. Oh no. Come on. Please. Mm. Mm. Oh my gosh. Hello? What's up, guys? Mute desktop audio now. Okay. You can still hear me now, right? Oopsie. A little bit of scuff never hurt nobody, right? Holy shit. Guys, thank you. Thank you for all the love today. Seriously, I don't even know. I don't know how I'm gonna possibly keep up. But thank you all so much. Thank you so much. Welcome in. There's a lot of new people. Hi. Thank you all for coming out today. How's the volume of the music? Is it okay? Can you hear my voice and everything like that? Yo, Anthony, thank you. Atomic Meltdown, thank you. Aria, thank you. Oh my gosh, there's so many people. Bro, my stream elements is actually fucking broken. I think you guys broke it. I think it gave up. Let me try to refresh it. Tier 3? Oh my goodness. Tier 3? Bro, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Those were tier 3s. Are you serious? Are you fucking serious right now? Draco, thank you so much. Anthony, thank you so much. Atomic Meltdown, Aria, Matt, YOLO, Zenny, Farron, Crimson, C-Note, Luke, Zam, we got Grumpy, Luis, Psycho, Zelly, we have Scotto, and Zero and Kaplan. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And all the new ones, we're at level 14. I can't believe it. We're just getting started and we're already at a level fucking 14 Night Train. I don't even know what's going on, but thank you so much, everybody. Why don't we get this show on the road? I know you guys have been waiting. So this is part 2 of my casino heist. And for this big casino heist debut, I have 3 parts of lore, as well as 3 new outfits. Now, I've already showed you 1 new outfit. And this is the second one that I'm showing you today. So part 1, we started off, we had to infiltrate the casino. And we had to, have some kind of a disguise. We needed to blend in. So I had my fancy rich heiress dress. My whole getup. I never wear high heels. I never wear dresses. So, bear with me. Hopefully I don't trip and break my neck. And now, for our next stage, we needed to infiltrate the staff. Because I need to have access to down below where the safe is. The huge, amazing safe that's full of cash and gold and jewelry and other things for us for our big giant heist. Oh, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for all the subs. And thank you for getting us to level 14. That's really high. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Wage. Also, we're now almost at 2,400 subs. I cannot believe it. I honestly, guys, my fucking month goal was 1,500. You've almost gone 1,000 subs more. Wait, can I do math? I can't even do math. Yeah, something like that. I don't fucking know. Anyways, look at these feats. Anyway, look at my feet. What do you guys think of these shiny high heels? Uh-oh. So I don't usually wear tights, and I'm not good at putting them on, and I think I might have ripped it. Oops. Yo, thank you so much, Jinxberry. Thank you for rating me, Jinx. I really do appreciate it. Oh, they're ripped, just like me. Sorry, it's because my muscles were too big that I ripped through it just like fucking, what's his name, the Hulk. Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Jinx. I hope you had a great stream. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully I didn't accidentally press a button or a toggle that I wasn't supposed to. I don't know what I look like right now. But, yeah, just ignore the rips. I'm really bad. I'm really bad at putting on tights. So just, just ignore that, okay? Thank you everyone for being here. This is super exciting. I hope you like what I have to show. Like I said, this is part 2. This is the second outfit out of 3. And this one was a struggle to put on. I didn't have a lot of time. I really tried to squeeze into it as fast as I fucking could. So yeah. Welcome in, new people! Hello, welcome. Welcome to our greatest heist yet. We're gonna heist this casino. There's a huge-ass vault in this casino. And I have now gained access. I have managed to get access downstairs into the vault. Our people are down there. They are waiting. I got the access code for it, or the key card for it. And you know what the fuck happens? Do you guys know what happened that wasn't part of our plan? There's a second fucking door in that vault. And my key card does not access it. I have no idea. So you know what we did? Dynamite, baby! We blew that shit up. All right. Moving. Oh my god. Oh. What are those? Oh my god. I don't know if I could show this for too long. Honestly, my coochie lips are just hanging on for dear life. Don't look at that area, okay? I basically cannot... I won't be doing the splits anytime soon. You blew up the money. No. It was just a small enough explosive that we could get through the door. All right, moving on. Like I said, I don't really want to spend... Okay, let's look at this. Ooh, oopsie, I ripped it. I even got these, like, really cool tights just for this outfit, and I fucked it up. Okay, and then over here, I got, I always have to have some kind of straps on me. There could be something hidden behind me, but you'll never know. Oh, you can see my ass. Oh. I mean, what is that? No. No, we're just gonna go do. Okay, there we go. There we go. What's up, Steen? Oh my, how are you? Welcome in, guys. Thank you for the biddies. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for the donos and everything like that. We got some hips. That's right. I don't know how people wear this shit, honestly. This is dangerous. This shit is dangerous, man. I don't know what I'm gonna fucking do. I don't know. Anyway, I think I got a size too small, maybe. Who fucking knows? I was in a rush, all right? I was in a hurry. Do you know where to get bunny casino outfits? Do you know where the hell to get? They're so hard to find. I had to order this online. Okay? But yeah, look at this rigging by Kelly. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. My model was drawn by the amazing Rikito99, and it was rigged by the awesome Oi Kelly. Yes, I'm the seller. Exactly. I was able to get this beautiful outfit from Rikito. They actually designed it themselves. And they even created the whole thing. Hi, Hannah. What's up, baby? Rikito is in the chat, my artist. Hello, Rikito. You're the best. All right, shall we move on? Oh no, this is just, I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. You know, it's just a part of the human body, okay? Hi, Spongy. What's up, lovely? Spongy, Hannah. Hello, guys. My beautiful friends. Thank you so much. And I see all of the syndicate showing up for the boss. I really do appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Ooh. Yeah. Rikito and, Kelly. They're geniuses. Stay focused, brothers. Yeah. I'm gonna, Rikito and Kelly popped off as usual. Yes, they did! I love them so much. All right, and the last part of my outfit is, of course, you guys have seen my fucking face already. But you haven't seen these. Boing, boing, boing. Actually, you did because I put it on Twitter. But we're not going to talk about that. You did see these. Now I'm a bunny girl. Did you guys know that it's actually the year of the rabbits? It's the year of the rabbit, the year of the bunny, and I thought this outfit would be absolutely perfect for that and perfect for our casino heist. Because of this outfit, I was able to gain the access card to the downstairs vault. So all our people are down there waiting. They're waiting for part 3 of the operation. But you guys, we're gonna have to wait until next week, honey. We're gonna have to wait until next Saturday for my 3rd and final outfit. But for my next trick, I'm gonna pull a rabbit out of my hat. Out of my ass. Yippee! This is the full outfit. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Do you like it? Do you like it? It's cute and you like it. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I could do a couple more things like what I did on my other outfit too. Well, first of all, speaking of my other outfit, check this shit out. Check this shit out. Ready? Achoo! Woo! Just like that. You might need this in Nikkei yesterday. Bro, that's such a huge compliment. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, this is smooth as fuck, right? Check it out. This is what Kelly cooked. This is what Kelly cooked. Look at this shit. Ooh! Oi, Kelly, everybody, and Rikito. I've got magic powers. Let Kelly cook. Let Kelly cook. So beautiful. Thank you, honey. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. And of course, just like my other one, I can do something else, except it looks kind of funny. Because I have 6 ears. Now I'm a bunny coyote girl. I don't know what you'd call it. What would you call it? What would you call it? A furry? Bunyote. I'm a bunyote. A bunyote. I have a tail back there too. I have my fluffy bunny tail, and now I have this tail. I got 2 tails now. But yeah, so I still have those on this model as well, which is really, really cool. So this outfit is actually just part of my regular model. So it's just like another outfit, which is really, really cool. It means I have 2 outfit options on this model, and I could flip between them very, very easily, just like this. See? Bald buddy? That is the one thing I don't have yet. I don't have bald on this model yet. Hi, Sanson. I do a howl. Awoo! Awooga. Hi, son. How are you? But yeah, I fucking love the fact that I can just do this very, very easily. I can just go back and forth and go boop. What do you think of my bunny suit, guys? I always wanted to have a bunny suit. I think a bunny suit is just one of those things in a VTuber's wardrobe that is just kind of fun to have. I feel like a Nikkei character. I feel sexy. I feel cute. But I wanted to throw some of my own flair into it. So I have a couple of harnesses on. I've got my pocket aces. I also accidentally ripped my stockings because I'm a dingus and I can't put stockings on very easily. But something else that I really love is, of course, just like my other outfits, I can change my hair. And I think there's a couple hairstyles that look really, really cute with this one, like this. Now I'm a bun Elly. Get it? I got double bun. Actually, I have more. I got so many buns. See? I got this buns too. You can see them. It says hello. This is why I'm not good at stealth missions. The cheeks do be clapping. You can't stop the urge to pet her head. You may pet my head if you want. You may. Come. You may, if you want to. Arr, I bite. Just kidding, I won't bite you. I won't bite you. New outfit looks beautiful, thank you! It's very, boing boing. But you know, bunnies are very boing boing, right? Bunnies always be going boing, 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 boing. So it's kind of fitting, isn't it? Guys, thank you so much for all the subs. Thank you for the donos. Thank you for the biddies. Oh my goodness, we are now 21 subs from 2,400. Hi, Wyo. That's not all this clapping. Just make sure to wear eye protection. Oh man, yeah, this is one of my more like shameless outfits. But honestly, I have no shame, so fuck shame. Shame is lame. I don't give a shit about that. I don't care. I love this outfit. I feel sexy. I feel a little wobbly on my feet, not gonna lie. But I never wear get-ups like this, so... But I would do it for the heist. Do it for the shmoney. Oh boy, you like it? Do you like it? Of course, I still have all my other hands as well. What can I do here? We can do... Hee. Combat bunny. Put your hands up. Put your fucking hands up in the air. Put them up. Give me all your money. Ooh, I think my alerts are a little behind because there was a lot of hype that was going on. We'll just ignore that. Where are you hiding that? Wouldn't you like to know? No, it's actually strapped behind my leg there. You can't see this one on this outfit. But usually I would have my hair like this, see? See? So my hair actually covers it. Yeah. I also have my my shoulder harness as well. I got some more things hiding there. Of course, I'm a crime boss. Oh, what else can I show you? Oh, I think it looks really especially cute like this. I think it looks very cute. This, like, I don't know. What do you guys think? With the short hair? Do you like it? Ooh. Short hair Bonelli, you like that? Perfect. Thank you so much. I feel very cute. Like, honestly, I'm not, you know me, and I'm always like, I'm not cute. But I really feel like Rikito cooked up a cute outfit. So when I'm Bun Elly, I feel a little bit cute. Just a little bit though. Not a lot, only a little. Only a little, and that's all you're gonna get. And it's not because I'm cute, it's because the outfit is very cute. Anyway, would you guys like to see part 1 and part 2 of the lore videos back to back? That way you can kind of see the progression. And then next week we will have the third and final part, and I'll be able to put them all together. And then we're gonna put the full video up on YouTube. Also, I really want to do a huge shout out to Mark Draw. Mark is an amazing artist. Let me get their Twitter for you really quickly. I'll show you their Twitter as well in a bit. Omorphia created this amazing casino background, but I already showed that off. But yeah, Mark Draw 98. Mark Draw. Ah! I don't think you guys heard that because my alerts are muted. But I heard it. Damn it, Orange. What the fuck? Why are you scaring me, huh? You thought I turned it off for you? No, I could probably turn it off for me though. Yo, what's up, Kate? Nah, I'm about to bark. Oh, really? The urge to be like, do it. No, Kay, stop. Stop that, Kay. Get yourself together, man. Come on, homie. Pull yourself together, please. Oh, my goodness. Anyways, the second part of the lore video, the art was done by Mark Draw. So the first one was by Rikito, second one is by Mark, and part 3 is by a different artist who you will be seeing next Saturday. The reason why is because I have 3 separate outfits that are all a different kind of style, a different kind of vibe, and I really wanted to feature a different kind of vibe with them with the lore video. So I was like, oh, why don't we get 3 different artists to do each part? And then they go all together. And I thought it would be really cool if we did it that way. Hi, Medial. Medial, thank you. Hi, Langlation. How are you? Bunny. Bunny. I'm Bunny. Bunny's suit has given her power. I just keep getting more powerful. Nobody can stop me. Yeah, I don't know. I feel really pretty in this outfit. When is the next heist? We're literally doing one right now. We're at the casino. We're doing a casino heist, but shh. Don't tell anybody. Don't snitch, okay? We have to be sneaky about it. All right, why don't we show the lore videos again? Part 1 and part 2, and then you'll have to tune in next week, Saturday, same time, same place. It'll be October 7th at 6 p.m. EST. Oh, also, just to let you guys know, you don't want to miss next week, okay? Next week is the biggest out of the 3 parts, all right? It's the biggest reveal because not only do I have another new outfit, which honestly, this new outfit is really special and important to me, and you will see why when I show you. Not only that, but I will be releasing another original music video by me and my band. Another new original song, okay? Haven't released original music in like a year. So, an original song, and there's going to be 2 very important, huge merch drops. And you guys are not going to want to miss these because, trust me, I myself am blown away by these new merch drops. Like, I can't believe it's real. Hi, Camila! Camila, my baby! Mwah! Thank you for swinging by, baby. I love you. I love you. You look so beautiful. Thank you! Would you like to see? Here, this is the full outfit. It's a bunny suit. And it's like, I don't know, it's like a bunny suit with a little bit of an Elly spin to it. But I really love this because I especially love like the rigging that Kelly did just goes so well with the outfit. And I love the little details that Rikito put into it that really makes it like me, you know? I don't usually wear this kind of stuff, but I still feel like myself in it. I still feel like myself and I feel very, very happy. Anyways, so yeah, next Saturday, guys, you really do not want to miss out. You do not want to miss out, okay? That's the big one. Next Saturday, 6 p.m. EST, big merch drop. You are going to love some of these items, and people have been asking me for them for, well, a long time. And they're very cute. And I will give you guys a bit of a hint. It's featuring 2 little cuties that are not me, but They go with me everywhere that I go. So you'll have to wait and see. And that's not the only thing, though. I have a whole lot of more stuff. Working together with Uwu Market, we're doing a big merch drop for this special heist event. So, and it's part 3 of the heist. You want to see how it all ends, right? Do you want to see if we get away or not? You see him right now. Not the bathwater, bro. You guys have been begging me for that shit. What do you mean, not the bathwater? All right, guys. I'm gonna pause this music for a second, and let's play. I'm gonna play the first lore video, which some of y'all have already seen, some of you haven't. So we're gonna do the first one and then the second one right after, so it kind of like flows into each other, and you can see kind of my vision for what I wanted for this lore, for this big casino heist, my biggest heist yet. And then again, like I said, next week, next Saturday, will be the 3rd and final part, and I believe it's the longest part as well. So yeah, come on by next Saturday at 6 p.m. EST, and thank you for supporting me. I know it's kind of not conventional to do these launches, like new outfits over the span of like 3 weeks. But I wanted to give my artists enough time to finish. I wanted to give my editors enough time to work on the videos and put everything together. I needed enough time to make sure that everything was running smoothly. And I also thought it would be really cool if the lore was kind of like developing as we go. You know what I mean? It means we had 3 fucking full weeks of excitement in here. And we haven't had anything new since, well, December. So it's kind of a big deal. Yeah, I think it worked out pretty well. What do you think? Multiple weekends of hype? Yeah, and I really love lore. So going forward, I'm going to be working with lots of great artists and people who to hopefully help me bring more of my lore ideas to fruition. I have so many ideas. But I don't want to spam too much all at once. I usually do like 1 or 2 big things a year. So yeah, keep your eyes out for more lore and stuff. Hey, thank you so much for the resubs and the biddies and everything, guys. We are 20 subs away from 2,400. That's crazy. Thank you. All right, let's play lore video part 1 and part 2. I hope you enjoy. Hopefully there's no scuff this time and you'll actually be able to hear the video. Here you go. Hit. Aha! Huh? Later. Well, well, well. How about a drink? Oh. Mm-hmm. Bye-bye. Uh-huh. Nice. Oh. Oh no. Come on. Please. So that's part 1 and part 2 of the lore videos. Yeah, and then you'll have to tune in next week for part 3, and it'll be the whole shebang, the entire story of our big heist. And then we'll be moving on to other bigger and better things. We just keep on moving up, baby. Can you be the card? Oh my goodness. Also, for anybody who didn't really get, like, maybe there's parts that you might not have understood just because, I don't know, sometimes it's hard to tell just by watching for the first time. But we tried to get into the vault with the key card, right? So I had to schmooze one of the owners of the place so I could steal his key card to get into the vault. But when we opened the vault door, there was a second one. No, of course there'd be another layer of security. I feel so silly. How did I not think of that? Oh my goodness, we were not prepared. These new vaults these days, man. I swear. And we didn't bring our fucking thermal drill or whatever it's called, so I had to fucking improvise, and luckily we always bring explosives. So yeah. I tried to be sneaky. I tried. I really tried. This time I tried to be stealthy. I tried to blend in. I had this whole plan. It was gonna be a genius plan, you guys. It was supposed to be so good, and I failed. But you know, we have plan B. Always have plan B. Where are you keeping those explosives? Well, I got something explosive in here, but it ain't what you're thinking. But no, of course I have all my my gangsters. I have all of you guys. Me and the gang, we all infiltrated together. Obviously the whole... By the way, I just want to say thank you for 111K syndicate members. We just hit 111K. Which is fucking crazy. But yeah, I couldn't bring all 111,000 of you, so we had to bring a little bit of a smaller crew. But of course, we have all kinds of people in this heist. Yeah, there's always a plan B. You always gotta have a backup. Exactly. Smaller crew, you mean? Shut up! Don't even fucking start this again, I swear. Don't you dare. Don't even think about it. Anyways, I'm not small. Whatever. Call CrimeNet and the Payday gang would help. Dude, I really want to play Payday 3. I still haven't tried it yet. Has Payday 3, have they kind of like fixed it up and there's no more bugs anymore? Or like how's the queuing or the servers? How is everything? Because I really want to play. I was thinking we could play something for the next couple of hours, and after this, in about 2 hours, I don't know if you guys know, but most of you should know, I think, there's a huge debut for K9 Kuro, who is going to be the new member of VShojo. So I would like to watch that. So what I was thinking is we could hang out for the next couple of hours, maybe play a game or something, and then maybe we could do a raid. Yeah, we could raid Kuro. I'm so excited. I'm really, really excited. You planning to play Payday 3? You know what? I don't know if I have the game yet, so let me check Steam, and then I could just get it. Let me see. I was trying to get it. I forgot. Give me 1 second. Games. Store. I don't know if I have it yet. There is a way that, Payday 3... Oh yeah, let me just install it real quick. I'm gonna just install it in the background. This just makes me think I need to wear my bunny suit more. Why not? I mean, heck, why not? Bunny suits, I'm not gonna lie, I feel very cute. I feel very cute and very, very, I don't know. And I don't normally say that ever. I like never ever say that because you know what? I don't think I'm very cute, but this outfit it's pretty cute. This is the only time you're gonna hear me say that though. Literally. I don't think I would say that for any other situation. Well, we can try Payday 3. If it's too buggy, we can swap. Good idea. Good idea. Let me just, go to my games, and I'm gonna download it really quickly. It shouldn't take too long at all, because my computer is a beast. Thank you, Alienware. Payday 3. Install. Ah! Oh my god, I don't have enough space. Wait, why not? Gamer problems. Of course she runs out of space. Dude, okay, what should I uninstall? How about we uninstall... Okay, I have a few games that I'm gonna uninstall, okay? Give me a second. I just have a lot of games lately. I've been playing a lot of new games. I have so many downloaded right now that I don't even play, so... yo, what's up, IPN? Awooga. Yo, IPN, how are you today? Are you excited for Kuro debut? I'm really excited. When's your Live 2D debut, by the way? That's what I'm really excited for. I really want to see 3 debuts that I'm excited for are K9 Kuro, which is today. Terra Kami Naruto, she's gonna be debuting her Live 2D in October. And IPN, I don't know when his debut is gonna be, but hopefully, I don't know, hopefully in the near future. Because, yeah, I'm fucking excited, okay? Okay? Jesus Christ, Ellie, you gotta stop saving all of Mark's OnlyFans stuff. Never! I will never stop doing that! I must support my #1 Oshi Markiplier. Okay, let me uninstall some games here. How about we're gonna do... I don't know. Uninstall this one. We're gonna do... What else do I not play? I could just reinstall these games anytime. I don't play this one. Uninstalled, deleted. How about Bigfoot? I don't really play Bigfoot. That's a fun game though, if you guys haven't played it. Yesterday I played Spy Party. And I played it with and oh shit, I actually opened Bigfoot. We're not playing this. We are not playing this. Nope. But yeah, we played Spy Party and I highly recommend it. It's a great game to play. I kind of want to try playing it again, to be honest. Delete. What else can I get rid of? How about... Dude, I have so many fucking games. Why? Why do I have so many? Okay, hopefully this is good. Hi, Volpo. Welcome in. We got some new people today. Hi. Bro, I still don't have enough space for this fucking game, guys. What do I do? I don't know what I'm gonna do. Oh dear. Delete all of Markiplier. Never! Fuck you, never. Maybe I'll just play something else for now. Yeah, I think Payday 3 is probably a really big game, is what I'm thinking. I'm keeping Party Animals. That shit is so much fun. Why don't we uninstall Plate Up? I do really enjoy this game, but we're gonna uninstall, I think. Hi, Bunny! We should get Markiplier to come to stream. No, we should not. Nope. Let's not ever bother the poor man, okay? Let's not be doing that. Nope. If you guys, I swear to God, I'm gonna be so mad. Leave him alone, okay? Listen, he does not need to be... I am sure people harass him every day, like hundreds and thousands of people every day, being like, check out my content, come check this out, come see this, come do this. Him and Shaq, you know what, Shaq? I feel like Shaq would be interested in VTubers. You doubt how much influence we have? I have no doubt in my mind that you guys could reach him, and then he's gonna fucking hate me, because he's gonna be like, this is annoying. So don't, please don't. Yeah, Shaq would probably hang out though. I feel like Shaq would love VTubers, and I think that he would probably love to hang out if he was invited. Maybe I should see about reaching out to him. Maybe he has like a manager or something, and I could be like, hey Shaq, I'm your #1 fan, especially in the VTuber community, and you ever heard of VTubers? You know what Shaq would do? I know that he would do this. He would fall in love with VTubers, and then he would want to get a VTuber model. I feel like Shaq would become a VTuber. You miss all the shots you don't take. I am fine with missing the Markiplier shots. We are not bothering that poor man, okay? I'm serious. Leave him alone. Please don't ever tag him or anything like that. No. Yeah. But I feel like Shaq, he would probably be, I don't know. I'm gonna see what I can do. I'm gonna reach out and be like, hey, Shaquille O'Neal. What's up, man? Shaq's already had cartoons, right? That's basically VTubing already. Exactly, Lime. I think he would really like it. You know what we don't have? Bro, I just realized this. Do we have, like, any fucking, sports VTubers? I know Rupee Roo is, like, a snowboarder, I think. And I think there might be somebody, I think there's some, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's any, like... Oh, she's a milk delivery cat girl. Oh. Sorry, Rupee! I thought you were a snowboarder, because she has cool goggles and a jacket. I don't know. She could probably be a snowboarder, too. Maybe she delivers milk on a snowboard. Me saying Rupee Roo is a snowboarding VTuber, she's not. Crime is a sport, one could argue. I mean, there's esports too. There's like definitely esports VTubers or people who are like in esports who are now VTubers. But I mean like sports tubers. Like there's nobody that I know of who's like a football player, a soccer player, basketball player, or like, you know, something like straight out of Haikyuu, like a volleyball player. You know what I mean? Touching a lot of balls jokes here. I mean, you'd fit right into the VTuber community. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You would fit right in. Oh, I know what we could uninstall. We could uninstall Red Dead Redemption. That's a big one. I'm not playing that yet. We can uninstall... Ooh, The Quarry? Uninstall. Why do I have all these games downloaded right now? I don't play them. I never fucking play them, so... Let me see here. We're not uninstalling Valheim, though. I love Valheim. I love it. We're going to be playing more of that soon, I think. How would they do a VTuber stream when playing sports? No, they would be a sports VTuber. So the whole theme of their VTuber would be that they're an athlete. Like they play some kind of sport. And then maybe on stream, they play like a sports game like FIFA or something. Valheim's pretty small anyway. Yeah, it is. So Valheim stays. The games that I have right now that I really, really love, I tried Ride 5. I don't know if I'm going to play that very much because I want to just be able to ride around. But it seems like it's mostly just racing. I don't know. We'll see. A sports ball VTuber. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I do have Assetto Corsa, which I'm going to try playing. We're going to do driving. Assetto Corsa. We have 7 Days to Die. Oh, I want to play more spoopy games. Are there any good spoopy games coming out for tomorrow? Tomorrow's October already, and we're going to be doing a lot of spooky content this month, including VR chat events that I'm going to be hosting. So I need to set those up with people. We're going to have once a week, I think, an event in VR chat, which there will be more information coming soon. You can sport my balls anytime. Shut up, Shrek. You nasty. Gotta love the entire month of Halloween. It's the best. It's the best. It's just the best time of the year. I feel like a lot of VTubers especially, we love October. We love October. We love Spoopy Month. Dead by Daylight, we're keeping that. I do not need Deadly Broadcast. I haven't played that since the first time I installed it. Uninstall. Okay, I uninstalled a bunch. Let me see if I can get Payday. Please! Payday 3, please! Hijklmnop. Okay. I can't remember when it comes to the alphabet. Okay, there it is. Payday 3 install. Yippee! We have space! Yeah, tomorrow is spooky month, I know. I'm so excited. Sounds like he's asking to get kicked in the junk. He might be. Some people ask me that. They say, Elly, step on my genitals! And I'm like, no, that's fucking weird. But you know what? I'm not gonna kink shame if you're into that. I'm just not gonna do it live on twitch.tv. Yeah, that's expensive, you know what I'm saying? Where's my fucking money? Where's my fucking money? Pay up. Huh? Huh? Where then? I didn't think we'd get this far in the conversation. Look over there! Oh my goodness, a distraction. How pretty do you... Wait, I don't get it. She do somewhere else, though? I'll meet you in VR chat. Syndicate Garage. We'll do the Syndicate meetups. I'll kick you guys in the nuts. Only Crooks. Yeah, over on Only Crooks. Did she silently mouth the letters OF? No. I actually don't have OnlyFans. I have Fansly, though. I haven't posted on there because I've been too busy with my debut. So I had to commission more arts on there. But I don't do full not safe for work, but I do spicy stuff on there. Art, including voice work. There's a lot of good shit on there already. You guys should check it out. There's some fantastic artists like Stain Senpai. We had Steve. The amazing Steve. Hi, Lester. Lester on nice outfit. Gnome? Oh, okay. You're from Nags' community. You're from Nags' community. I was going to be like, bitch, what did you just call me? What did you just call? First time chatter calling me a fucking gnome. But yeah, I am a gnome in Baldur's Gate. No more pants is my name. And then I see your Nags emote and I'm like, oh, I know exactly where you came from. How is Nags doing, by the way? I've been watching a lot of his subathon. He's killing it. He's doing amazing. Very, very proud of him. I don't know how he's doing it like so consistently for so many days. It's crazy. Why do you look like Rias Grimorty in a bunny suit? Because I do. I look a lot like Rias. We have red hair. Rias in a bunny suit is too powerful. Bunny Elly. Wait, is Elly turning into me? I'm a bunny too. Brandon, I could never turn into you. You're too amazing. I couldn't even get even close. Yeah. That poor man is never leaving. Nags' timer is still at like 300. I think he's hit 20k subs now, hasn't he? I'm pretty sure he's at 20k or something more. More and more bunnies. This is the greatest birthday gift ever. Aww, Garrett, you're so sweet. You're so cute. Bunny Elly. Hi, Uni. Do you like this outfit? I like it. Look at this ears. Bun Elly. And then Boob Elly. I think that's my favorite part. That's definitely my favorite part. And then this is some people's favorite part. I don't really understand that part, but you know. Nuh-uh. Why are you saying nuh-uh to me? Why are you nuh-uhing me? Okay, but the tights look really good. Thank you. I accidentally tore them when I tried to put them on, though. I was in too much of a hurry, and I'm not good at wearing tights. I hate tights, actually. They're super uncomfortable. If anybody has ever worn them before, you will know they're super fucking uncomfortable. The way I never thought Elly would be a bunny girl when I first started following, I mean... I had this casino heist planned since I first started VTubing 2 years ago. I had all my outfits planned. I have like 6 other outfits that I want to debut over the course of the next few years. Scotto! Scotto, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, another 20 gifted. Holy fucking shit, dude. Scotto is popping the fuck off today, guys. Also, I noticed that you gifted a sub to Shaq. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Scotto. We are now at 2,400 subscribers. Thank you so much. We're almost at 25K, and that would be 1,000 more subs than my monthly goal. So you guys really popped off, and I'm super duper fucking grateful. Thank you for making this debut super successful, and I have one more next weekend. So stay tuned, okay, guys? Stay tuned. The other thing to note is that whenever a VTuber does like big debuts like this, you know, new stuff, new backgrounds, new alerts, new transitions, new outfits, new model stuff, music, videos, teaser trailers, teaser arts, blah, 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 all of that stuff, right? It's very expensive sometimes. So your support, I'm really, really grateful for it. And nobody ever needs to, like, nobody ever has to give any subs or donos or anything. Like, my content is free. You're all allowed to be here for free. And I love you just the same either way. Like, really. I'm just grateful that any of y'all choose to spend any time with me whatsoever. So thank you so much for supporting me and being part of the Syndicate community. Thank you. But yeah, for those of you who do subscribe or gift subs or donate or whatever, just know that it goes a very long way and it's super duper helpful, and it allows me to do more. So thank you so much. I've got these new outfit debuts, and the biggest thing to go with the outfits is the lore. I always want to be able to have more lore coming for you guys. Ideally, like, I have a lot of ideas. I've got a lot of stuff. And if I had the shmoney to, I would have lore coming out weekly. So maybe in the future, I'll keep working my tail off and see if one day I can make that a reality for us. Because it'd be really cool, or like at least monthly or something like that. Maybe not weekly, but like a new Elly episode, like every month. That'd be really cool. Or every couple weeks or something. Work that coyote tail off, but I just got it. Elly lore book when? Dude, there are so many things that I want to do. I want to have lore books, like even like mangas. I want to be able to have my first fully animated episode of something. But the animating that we do, like, it's really simple, but it works really effectively. Like, the artists always like separate the layers and they separate from the background so that we're able to edit them to make it slightly animated. So, hi, Sekine, how are you, darling? Submit all worldly possessions to the cute crime queen. Thank you, my love. Thank you so much. How are you? How are you? But yeah, so, you know, on behalf of myself and, you know, all VTubers and all content creators who are out there doing our grind, doing our thing, you know, working our fucking tails off. Just, you know, we all have a lot of ambitions. We all have a lot of creativity and goals. And we want to entertain people. We want to entertain you. We want to make people happy. We want to make, you know, our dreams come true and make other people's dreams come true and all those things, right? The other thing to realize as well is that there's a lot of people who are involved behind the scenes. So by helping, you know, or supporting your favorite content creators, you're also supporting people who are part of their team, like editors, right? The more, you know, the more support that the community gives to their streamer, the more the streamer is able to provide support for people like editors, people like artists, model riggers, what else? Managers, assistants, all of that. So it's like a whole network of people, you know? I could do more for our moderators. Like, there's just, it's all connected. There's a lot of people involved. And it's a circle, like we all have our own circle around us. So when you're helping and supporting a content creator, especially a full-time one who does it as a job like I do, you are helping a network of people. So I really do appreciate every bit of support that comes my way, whether it's just, you know, you're taking a couple minutes out of your day to come hang out with me, or whether you're one of our fucking big gifters, or something like that. And I just want to let you guys know that I am so appreciative of everything equally. So every single one of you, like, really,
Elly,
Oh, hi, Tay. Thank you so much, Tail. Tail, thank you. Thank you so much for the raid. Tail bites us if we don't raid. Oh my God, there's another one too. Holy shamoly, we're getting another one from Kyo Kiru. Hi, Kyo. Kyo, welcome in. Tay, welcome in. Guys, you both double raided me at like the same time. Skunk raid! We got a skunk raid. We got Tay's raiders who are gonna be bitten if they don't do it. Thank you guys so much, my friends. Thank you for coming in on my big outfit debut day, guys. It's so lovely to meet you. Hello, everybody. My name is Elly. I am the crime boss VTuber, the queen of crime herself. I love heists. I love fast cars, and I love getting in trouble. I am also the leader of the massive international organized crime family called the Syndicate, and everybody in here is very cute. And we're also dirty, rotten scumbag criminals who like to steal shit. Especially your heart. Tee. Welcome, Raiders. Kyo, I hope you had a fantastic stream today. Tay, I hope you had a fantastic stream as well. She loves fast cars. I sure do, honey. Fast cars and motorcycles, actually. I'm a motorcycle mommy as well. And I do own a motorcycle of my own, if anybody is interested in shooting the shit about that. I have a Discord server as well, which is really awesome. It's called the Syndicate. Feel free to join it. Can I get the link in the chat, please? Things to know about Discord. We have movie nights every Wednesday hosted by Crazy Bum. We're going to be doing VR chat movie nights for October. We're going to be watching scary movies in VR chat together. We have announcements in there. We do Discord events sometimes. What else do we do? There's like places to put photos and everything like that. Hi, Juzo. Let me just drive the cycle real quick. Hello, Juzo. What's up, friends? Welcome. What else do we do in there? There was something I was going to say. I post things in there like photos and recipes, and there's one called Wrench Wranglers, which is where everybody who is like a gearhead, who is who really likes cars or motorcycles, that's where they all go and talk and share pictures of like car meets and their rides and stuff. Yeah, we share pet pictures, just all kinds of stuff. And of course, there is general chat where you're all free to hang out and just chat and stuff like that. But the main thing for Discord, which is a good reason to join, is to be there for our VR chat events. If you ever want to join us for VR chat hangouts, we do like drinking nights and just have fun. We're going to be doing a lot more. We're going to have movie nights, and sometimes we just have movie nights just chilling in Discord too. It's a great time and a really great community. So, Uzuri, how are you? Bunny. I have my very own Bunelli outfits. I am now Bunelli. I wanted to have a bunny suit for a long time, and then when I heard that this year was the year of the bunny, I was like, it has to happen. It's also part of my casino heist lore. So right now, we are smack in the middle of our biggest heist yet. As you can see, we are at the casino. We have infiltrated, and I have infiltrated in a disguise, and this is what my disguise was to get in here. We did some gamba. We do be gambling. And I got to wear a pretty dress for the first time. Yeah. But then we're now into phase 2. We did some gamba. We blended in. And then I was able to sneak into the staff room. And I was able to change into Bunelli and blend in with the rest of the casino staff. That way it was really easy for me to steal the key card to the vault downstairs from one of the owners of the casino. So currently that's where we're at. You know what? There's a lot of new people in here. I don't know if you want to watch the lore again. I feel bad because I always spam things, but I don't really care because you should see it. It's really awesome. A lot of hard work went into it. And I get to show off the hard work that the artists did. This artist is Mark Draw 98, and he's the one who did this lore video art. So let's check it out. There's also a part 1 as well. You know what? We're just going to do both. Fuck it. We're going to do part 1 and part 2. Part 1 was done by Rikito, who is my model artist. and does a lot of lore stuff for me and lots of cool art for me. Rikito is absolutely cracked. You gotta check them out. Follow Rikito99 on Twitter. Follow MarkDraw98 on Twitter. I just realized that it's like 98 and 99. That's so funny, dude. And then, of course, Oi Kelly, who rigged my models. She does all my rigging. So please go follow them. Follow Omorphia, who does all my background art. And please, VTubers or just anybody, if you need to commission somebody for some art, for some rigging, backgrounds, whatever, you name it, please consider checking them out and supporting them. They are fantastic and so awesome to work with. So on my Twitter, I'll be posting everything, and I'll be posting everybody's links as well. And most likely in Discord as well, I'll be posting all the information that you guys need. A big shout out for Tail and Kyokeru. Thank you so much, you guys, for rating me. I hope you had great streams. I love y'all both so much. I've actually got to hang out with both Tay and Kyo in VR chat. They are so lovely. Kyo is an insane dancer, like absolutely insane. Tail is my cute, sweet angel. I love you so much. I give you kith. Thank you both so much for the support and the raids today, babies. Sash, thank you. Thank you, thank you. And T-Rexel as well. And Tommy and Cyber, thank you for all these resubs. Thank you for all these follows. Please enjoy the lore videos. Part 1 and Part 2. Part 1 by Rikito, Part 2 by Mark. And thank you so much, Ivy-chan. Thank you so much for the biddies. Thank you, thank you. All right, let's do this. For the 100th time! I'm gonna keep showing it off because I love them. Also, you get to hear my NPC voice acting. Hey. Minecraft villager sounding ass. Aha! Huh? Later. So this one is part 1. Getting into the casino, we did a little bit of gamba, but now it's time to move on to part 2, phase 2 of the heist. Thank you, Rikito, for this beautiful artwork, and the backgrounds are insane. The character design is insane. Absolutely gorgeous. And here is part 2 by MarkDraw98. Well, well, well. Well, 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 chat. Well, well, well. Oh. Oh, wow. So interesting. Tell me more. Aha. Nice. Oh. Oh no. Come on. Please. Little bit of explosives will do the trick. Plan B, am I right? Ah! My music. Fuck. My music. Give me a second. So yeah. There we go. That was the lore thus far, and we have one final part left. Part 3. You blew them up? No, it was just a little bit of explosives. We didn't blow ourselves up, silly. Not this time anyway. Explosions solve everything. They really do. They really do. I always have a couple of backups, you know, just in case. I don't know if y'all saw this, but it's always good to have some backups. You never know when you're gonna need them. Oh, do you want to see the cool thingy again? Look at this. Shoop! So awesome. So fucking cool. I love it. I love it very, very much. It is so sick. I could look at that all day. Like the transition that Kelly made. Really cool. Ooh. Ooh. Deadlier than Diana's sword in that dress. Thank you! Thank you so much. And now I'm a cute bun. I feel great because it's nice to have outfits for like different occasions. And these are so different from what I'm used to wearing. Like I usually wear some pretty normal ass clothes. I usually wear just gym clothes or just like, I don't know, comfy street clothes. I don't really wear nice things very often, so this heist took a lot of planning and required a lot of different, you know, disguises and outfits. Switch, thank you very much for 1 year! We got a 1-year subscriber. Thank you for 1 full year. You are amazing. I hope you had a great year together with me. Thank you so much. That's what you were jump scared by before stream. Wait, what were you jump scared by? Oh, also, for those of you who were here yesterday, I'm an idiot and I accidentally hit my fucking bunny suit toggle. I was like zoomed in like this, talking to you guys. And I was like wearing this. And then I fucking accidentally hit the toggle and it was like, oop, boink. And I was like, ah! So we had to like unpublish the VOD and everything. We were like, fuck, dude. Elly's scuff. Yeah, I knew that would happen. It's all published now. Yeah, the VOD is published. It's a really great stream yesterday too. I played Apex for like, I played Apex before, but not a lot. And I kind of really want to get into it and like get better and practice. So I hopped onto Apex and I was just gonna play, and see who showed up, if any of my friends showed up, if they wanted to play. And I was a solo and a duo with no Phil. Hell yeah, fuck Valorant. I mean, I like Valorant too, but I don't know. I think people, when they play Apex, I hear people say, I fucking hate this game. I fucking hate this game. But like, I don't know. It looks like they're having fun. Like a lot of people who play Apex, when they play, it looks like they're having a great time. I have a great time playing it too. I just want to get better because I feel like I'm not at the level where I can like contribute to my team yet. So I'm gonna practice. I'm going to actually work on it and practice. Hi, Ruben. Apex is a fun game. It is with the right people. I actually got to play Apex with Ruben before. Honestly, that's for all shooters. Yeah. It's just like anything that's competitive or anything that has like a learning curve that you have to sink some hours into. It's gonna be hard, but you know, for me, I just struggle to actually like put the effort in and keep it up, you know? Dark Wolf, thank you. Thank you for the biddies. Bunny suit? I do have bunny suit, yes. Ta-da! Only thing about Apex is that I need people to play with, but with Val and Overwatch, I can solo queue. That's a couple things with Apex is like, I'm surprised that there's no like solo play. Cause like sometimes you just want to play, like, I mean, okay, rarely, very rarely do you want to play by yourself. But like, what if all your friends are busy or you just kind of want to, maybe you don't, your social battery is kind of burnt out. And also when you play solo, if you lose, you know, you can only blame yourself and you don't have to feel guilty about like letting your team down. I think there's pros and cons to both. I prefer doing like shooter games with like teams, obviously, and playing together with people. But I do like to play solo sometimes. So that's the only thing about Apex that I'm like, why don't they have a solo mode? It's very interesting. Hi, Jelly. Jelly Donut. You're so gorgeous. Thank you so much, love. How are you, Jelly? Hi, Puppy Ninja. Hi, Ashbel. Apex the best. Dude, I was playing yesterday, solo in a duo with no Phil because I was just like, literally, I'm still in the process of practicing picking up guns and learning spray patterns and learning movement and learning what characters or different, what do you call them? I can't remember what the fuck they're called. agents? No, is that Valorant? I don't know. What are they called in Apex? Like the characters that you play as. What are they called? Hi, Jelly. Hi. Legends. Oh. You mean the Legends in Apex Legends comes... Anyway, woo, I'm a coyote. I'm a Bonelli. I don't know anything. I think they're called operators. Okay, all right, that's... I thought they'd be called something else. I didn't think that they were actually called legends. That would have been so embarrassing, bro. Oh my god. You mean to tell me they Apex these legends? Neater. Benelli. So I was playing yesterday and who shows up in chat but Zen? Zen pops into chat and she's like, do you want to play with me and Fruit? And I'm like, yes, but I fucking suck. And you know what she did? She hopped on with me, and while we were waiting for Fruit to finish up some games and stuff, she took me to like the practice, like the training area, and she showed me what every item does. And she showed me like, she told me more info than like anybody has ever given. And she really broke it down to like such small details like, oh, if you want to see what attachments are on your gun, look in the bottom right corner. You can see what you need like underneath. And I'm like, oh, so I don't have to press tab to like see what I need? Fuck, I didn't even notice that. Like I don't know. I don't notice things unless people tell me. So yeah. And then she showed me how to do things like what different guns do and, oh, some different movements and stuff. It was really cool. I was like, thank you so much. Yeah, she's honestly the sweetest. For taking the time out of her day to do that, really meant a lot to me. And then when Fruit was when Fruit was ready and done and finished her games, we all jumped in and we played together and we got like 3 dubs. We won like 3 games. Okay, I didn't really do much, but my first game, I managed to keep up with them. My second game, I think I did like a revive, and I think I also did, I feel like every game that I did better. I know I had a game where I got 1 kill, which honestly should have been Zen's, but we're not going to talk about that. And then I got 6 assists. So I actually was getting some like damage on people. And yeah, and I didn't die. Yeah, a win is a win. And I felt like there's this one game where the communication was so good and Zen was doing like such great call outs. And I felt like my positioning was really good. And I was like listening and I was following, and I wasn't really talking to chat because I was like concentrating, and we did so good. And I don't know, now I can't stop thinking about it. So I really, really want to play more. But yeah, I definitely need more practice. And I think every day I'm going to go in and do like, I think it's called deathmatch or something like that. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do the training area and just try to like learn all the spray patterns. And I'm going to watch YouTube tutorials on like movements and stuff. I don't know. Apex Elly arc. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. I'm gonna try. So if any of my friendos ever want to play games and stuff, like just know I'm just starting. So, you know, probably I'm gonna need a lot of carry and a lot of support, but Kay can carry you. I know. I love playing with Kay. I love playing with Kay. He's always a good carry and he's always a great person to play with. You've been looking to try it out? You'll be my motivation? Yeah, let's play Apex. Let's all get into it. I feel like it could be a lot of fun. And also, for context, I do not need to be good at it. Like, I don't need to be, like, great, okay? I just need to be good enough. That's all I want. I have that, like, desire that I want to be good enough that I can keep up with people. And, like, I can pull my own weight in a team. But I don't really feel that desire, like, I have to be the fucking best. But who knows? Maybe I'll get to a place where I'm like, no, I need to fucking grind this shit and I need to, like, be better, you know? Who knows? What I'm hearing is that you're gonna get pred in a week. Yeah, I am, Ruben. I'm gonna lock myself in my fucking room and I'm going to stream 24/7 and I'm going to game 24/7 and play Apex and I'm not going to do anything else. Yeah. K is a beast. K is a beast. K is really like, he's cracked. He's cracked. So is Ruben, by the way. Ruben, I'd love to play with you again. I think Ruben and K would be such a great team to play with, honestly. Yeah. Sanson, do you play too? What about who else plays? Let me see. Jelly, do you play as well? I'm like really out of the loop. So I don't know. You're not cracked at Apex? Yeah, you are. What do you mean? You do so good. You're better than me. Welcome to competitive FPS. Dude, honestly, I think that I'm gonna really resonate with Bloodhound. I think I have to I'm gonna play Bloodhound and Octane, and I'm just gonna play the shit out of those two. I like Octane because I can feel like I can keep up with my team, but I also recognize that Octane is like a lot of movement and a lot of like, is the word recon? Is that like, what does it mean where you need to gather information? Like you go in and you gather info, or you're like, yeah, recon. Yeah, he seems like he'd be really good at that, you know, because he's so fast, he can get out of a situation or get into a situation really fast. And he also has that like bounce pad thing, which Zen taught me how to use it so you can get like the longest range from it, or you can get the most out of it. Recon. And then yeah, Bloodhound as well. I love the fact that Bloodhound has abilities that kind of expose where people are. And it shows you like where their footsteps are and stuff like that. Like I do so much better when I mean, obviously not just me. Everybody does better when you have more information. But I think I would be a really good support player in terms of like gathering intel and information for my team. I think that would be a good fit for me. So I don't need to be the one that's like, you know, I don't know. Octane is a very good scout. Yeah. And I like how fast he is, because that's one of my biggest things, is just keeping the fuck up with some of my friends who play. So hard to keep up sometimes. I'm like, you guys are just really, really good at this. So when I played Octane, I actually felt like I could. And then, yeah, I haven't tried Bloodhound yet, but I've watched some videos with Bloodhound and I'm like, damn, I think I could rock that, because... And also, I'm not like the kind of person that I could be a team leader, like ever. I'm not good with call outs. I'm not good with deciding, you know, I don't have the best game sense in that way, but I do really good when people tell me what to do. I am really good at following instructions. So I might be a crime boss, but I couldn't get very far without my crew and without, you know, the people closest to me helping me out. And it's the same in these kinds of games. It's like, I'm really good as a support, and, so I think I can do it. I think I can be much better. I have to practice aim. If I can land my shots and learn about, you know, like there's some strategies that Zen taught me, just practicing with certain guns and like learning how to counter their, you know, spray patterns and stuff. And just, I don't know, I think I could do a lot better. Hi, what's up, Super? Hello. Hi, Waker and Ketzel. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but anyways, welcome in, guys. I don't know who Apex these legends, but as long as they're all having a good time. Yeah, exactly. It's just for fun. Mad Maggie was the character I fell in love with in that game. Her movement speed is unhindered by shotguns, and she can throw a big ball at people. I love Mad Maggie. One of my biggest TikToks that popped off was me saying how I want her to string me up from the ceiling. Wait, Ruben, you were in that video. I'm pretty sure you were literally in that video, yeah. Hi, Kay, how are you? Do you like it? Do you like it? You're obsessed with Loba. Oh, Loba, oh my god. She's a thief, isn't she? She's a thief. I think she was the first like character that I ever really played, because like I didn't play much, but I did play a little bit of Loba because I was like, oh my god, she's a criminal too! And she's got a big what do you call it? A big fat ass. Yeah, I think she is. The suit details on the fishnets? Yeah, it's because I'm not good at stockings. I ripped them when I tried to put them on. Oopsie. I was in a hurry and I mangled them. Oopsie. Oops. That's the whole outfit. I hope you like it. You look great. Thank you, Fee. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for all the compliments, guys. Was there another video? There is another video. I played it like 50 times already, but you know what? We'll play it one more time because I love it. We're gonna play just part 2. Just part 2. Okay, are you guys ready? Make it 51. We go again! Whoa, whoa, whoa. How about a drink? Oh. Mm-hmm. Bye-bye. Uh-huh. Nice. Oh. Oh no. Come on. Please. Tee-hee, oopsie. Oh my god, that emote is perfect. Kaboom! Oopsie. Everything went kaboom. Can't believe he exploded and died. I mean, yeah, that's actually the next part of my lore. It's an isekai. Anyways, let me see here. Payday. Pretty sure Payday is done installing. Do you guys want to play Payday and see if we can play for a little bit? Might be loud, so this is a volume warning. Gonna watch and see if I could turn it down before... Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Payday 3. I turned it down a bit. Okay. 1 second, 1 second. I still have all my alerts turned off and stuff. I guess I could turn them back on now. Right? Let's see. Let me see. Oh, I still have this. I still have these aces for when I play poker. Think everything... Oh, mix it up. Turn that off. The mix it up overlay. Yeah. How's the volume? It's actually not too loud. It doesn't seem too loud at all. Is this good? Volume okay? I accept. I accept, huh? Do you want to enable game site? Marketing campaigns are received helping us to bring new players. No. I don't know what that is. Email and username. I like this music. I don't think you guys see this information anyway, but, you know, just in case. Create a cow! What are these things popping up? Oh, it's a game overview. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. I got scared. Every time random things pop up, I'm like, please don't dox me. Please don't dox me. Register. Oh yeah, it is a very good thing that I covered this. Holy shit. Here, let's go to a different scene for a second, shall we? I gotta put way too much info in there. 1 second. I need a username. I'll just go... I bet you Elly is already taken. Display name. Enter your name. I could do Elly. I could do Elly-en though. Right? And one last thing. Hello? What the fuck? I hate it when they're like, oh, we're gonna send you a verification code, and then it just never gets there. Thank you, Ember Wolf. Thank you very much for the 3 months. Welcome back. How are you? Click here to resend. You have requested too many codes. I literally didn't, but okay. Cutest outfit ever. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I think this is it, but it might have timed me out now because I tried to get a new code. Let me see if it works. Please work, please. Please work. I want to play this game. Do I unpause alerts now? Sure, you can unpause the alerts now. I think that's fine. What do you guys think? I'm only going to be streaming for about an hour and 20 minutes because at that point, Kuro is doing their debut and we're going to raid them. I'm just going to send you all over there because that's where I'm going to be. I'm going to be watching the debut. Yes, sir. It's like Frozen. Oh, the display name has been taken. What the fuck? Okay, we're gonna do L-E-E-N then. Sticky! That username has been taken. Damn it! Why? Ooh! Ooh! I'm almost done, guys, and then we can play. Almost done, almost done. Smellian? No, I'm not gonna be Smellian. I'm L-E-E-N. Ellian. Yippee! I did it, I did it, I did it. I think I did it. Does that mean I can log in now? Does that mean I can play now, please? Please? What do I do? What the? What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, and now I have to put the information in. Back to game. Okay. Let me just see if it works, guys. It should work. Login. Login failed! Try and open it again. I didn't forget. It said that it was like already logged in or something stupid. I have no idea. I'm just gonna try and like reload the game, I think. Remember when you could just jump in and play a new game? I know, now there's like so much stuff you gotta do. There's so much stuff and it's awkward when you're trying to stream. Would you like to enable crossplay? Sure. Would you like to play? Yeah, oh, it's working. Okay, here we go, here we go. See, I just had to reload the game. All right, we're gonna play the tutorial. Why not? I think tutorial is always a good idea for me. Oh.
This is the combat training area.
Put on the
Mask
mask.
up and get into position when you're ready to get started.
All right,
Mask
let's
up.
do this.
Ooh, I like the
I've
voice.
hired some people to
Ooh.
act as cops. Try not to hurt them too much.
I
It
can't
looks so
promise anything
good.
on that.
I love the voice. Voice gives me shivers in a good way. Wow. Oh. Your progress through the heist is displayed in the objective tracker. Some objectives have sub-objectives to help guide you forward. Optional objectives can provide alternative ways of completing the heist or increasing your payout. Ooh. You can find additional information about your objectives in the objective details. Okay.
The cops have made a few
Oh.
upgrades in the past few
It
years.
scared me.
Let's see if you can make it to the vault.
Come on, I ain't that rusty.
Oh my god. Hold on. My fingernails. I got my nails done and now my nails are so long and I keep hitting every single key and I think I'm just gonna chop them off.
I killed the motherfucking sniper. Kill the sniper.
I killed a motherfucking sniper.
Shoot out the window and climb inside.
Hey, how do I get over here? Do I jump? I'm pressing it. Oh, this one? The fuck? Oh. Nobody say anything, okay? I'm not smart.
To distract him or shoot
Refill
out the
ammo.
shield's visor to weaken it.
Nobody say a goddamn thing. Ah!
Pass me!
Who is shooting? Oh.
Don't even try it!
How do I get behind this dude?
Get out of here!
Ah!
Fucked up that shield!
What am I supposed to do? Was I supposed to throw a grenade at him? Ah!
That's a nader. Aim for the grenade belt to give them a taste of their own medicine.
What is this? Do they drop stuff? Oh, they do. Oh my god, Ellie. Whatever, it's fine. I already have full health. Dude, really? That's surprising. Very surprising. He's still alive.
Fuck that nader
Can you
up!
dive? Okay, what are these? This is a... There are objectives in the environment that can be blown up to do damage in a... Oh! Huh?
Assholes are going down!
Refill ammo. Oh, I want this gun. I can't take it. Can I take it? Oh my god, my aim is terrible. Oh wait, there's thingies I can blow up. Ha! Woohoo! I bloated up. When you take damage, it reduces your health or armor. You can use a medic bag to restore health or an armor bag. Health does not regenerate. If your health is depleted, you'll be down and require help from your teammates to get back into action. Repair part of your armor by staying out of combat. Oh.
You're looking a bit rough.
Okay.
If you have a medic bag, you can deploy it and get yourself back to form.
Ooh, nice.
As a treat, I've left an overkill weapon in there. Pick it up and rush through the next door to do some real damage.
An overkill weapon. I want that. What's this? Refill ammo. I don't need any of these.
They're coming in 30 seconds. Get ready.
Wait, what did they want me to get? I'm so confused. Oh.
I'm having the big gun delivered to you now.
Holy fucking shit, dude. Ah! All of a sudden, there's so many of them. I should not have gone through here before getting the gun. Goodbye. Wait, where'd he go? Oh, now I have a big gun. Wait, when did that get here?
Yeah, I know.
I'm so silly, dude. I'm so fucking silly. What's this? Pick up.
Alright, let's go to town.
Oh! I think I was supposed to use this on those guys. Oh. Wait, what? Oh! Grenade launcher! RPG! Huh? Oh!
Drill's
This is
going.
the drill. Alright, bitch. Come on at me, bitches. Eat a grenade.
Don't let up. Keep out.
I'm just gonna keep nading them. Because funny. Oh my god, the aiming is so weird on this.
Now set up a zip line. It's an easy
Whee!
way to move fast.
Oh, there's another dude. Oh, there's another two dudes. I love how I can just stand still. I could just fucking stand still and like soak all of the shots that they're sending to me. Wait, what do I do now? Disassemble. Open. Pog. What's this? Pick up a zip line. Ooh. Ooh. I want this. It says throw. Oh. I didn't know how far it would go. There we go. Oh, that's so cool. Whee! Huh? 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 Oh, oopsie. Ow. I forgot the shmoney. Okay, in my defense, I tried picking it up already and I couldn't. What's this? Oh. There we go. Okay, so now throw it on there. Get the rest of it. Like this. There's not even that much. Okay. I did it.
Good job. Now get out of there.
Nice.
And now I gotta get out of here. I'm so good at ziplining. God damn. Where do I go now? This way? Back the way I came. I'm getting out of here. Wait, is it back the way I came or is it a different way? I'm so stupid. I'm pretty sure it's back this way. Where was I supposed to go? Oh. Can I jump over that? Oh, I just have to stand in it. Huh? What do I do, guys? Oh, okay. I'm just supposed to stand in it. You're loving the new outfit? Thank you! I love it too! What are you playing? Payday 3. It's pretty much, so far, is very similar to Payday 2. So. But way better and way smoother. Continue to main menu, I guess? That was fun. That was a good tutorial. Heist. Join a heist and matchmake. Tutorial. Learn the basics of heisting. Loadout. Prepare loadouts with your favorite skills and gear, allowing you to pick the right combination for any heist as quickly as possible. Did you play a lot of Payday 2? No. I played some Payday 2, but not like a lot. You know, like I'm not like a pro or an expert at that game. But I did play here and there because it's just fun. It's just like a fun little heist game. But yeah, they're still pretty like new to me. But Payday 3, I was really looking forward to it. And I was like thinking I could really give it a go, you know? What else do you play? I play all kinds of games. Like I love survival games, role play games, cute little farming simulators. Like I love Minecraft, Valheim, Stardew Valley. But I also really like games like, let's see, what else do I play? Grand Theft Auto roleplay. I really like GTA RP. I love horror games. So my favorite horror games are Resident Evil 4 and Silent Hill 2. Hopefully Payday 3 has the same humor. Oh, I'm sure that it will. I'm sure it will. You love Stardew? I love Stardew. I like games like that. Signalis? I don't know if I played Signalis. You want to try GTA RP so bad? Dude, we should get into it. Actually, before Lucas like took a little break or something, he still streams, but before he left, he played GTA on like on NoPixel. He did some GTA RP and I was watching it, and it honestly made me so inspired to play again. It was so funny. He was so funny. He played a character named Laka Kanashiro, and he was going around like just trying to get a job at Burger King, Burger Shot, Burger King put lettuce. Burger Bing put lettuce. Laka, yeah, his name is Laka Kanashiro, and he was so funny. And I was watching it, and I saw characters that I like used to RP with and interact with, and I was like, holy shit, that's crazy. Like some of them are my friends, and I'm like, I haven't RP'd with these people in like 2 years. So, Kay, I would play with you if you get into it. I want there to be a VTuber server, but I'm too lazy to do it myself. Let's start a chicken shop. You know what's funny is that was what my job was. I used to work at Rooster's Rest. And I used to wear a chicken hat. Are there more hip physics with this model and outfit? Nope, pretty much the same. Pretty much the same as before. You be the judge of that. I feel like Kelly rigged things a little differently, like a little bit more smoothly, but it's the same model, just different outfits. And Kelly did different rigging for the booba. Yeah. Whopper, Whopper. Burger King. I must have been thinking about Terra. Loadout, Car 4. I don't have any other ones. Oops. What did I just do? I don't have any other ones, so I'll just keep it as is for now. But what about appearance? Ooh, choose which character you want to play. Ah, genius, hacker, and security expert, merciless heister. Joy is a dangerous combination of both. She has a complete lack of respect for authority and a twisted sense of humor. But in a heist, she's all aces. Ooh! Joy is an OG. I like Joy. I like Joy. We got Wolf. Wolf is a contradiction, messed up psychopath, and a dependable partner in crime. All wrapped up into one crazy package. He doesn't do regrets and rarely shows fear. Obviously unhinged, but still ruthless and efficient in his methods. Dallas! We love Dallas! Is a hard, no-nonsense type of guy. He always takes care of his own. A cunning and daring criminal, always focused on the objective. He rarely loses his cool and is often the man with a plan in a pinch. I love this iconic mask. Chains! Being in a firefight is business as usual. With nerves of steel and a flippant attitude to violent crime, it takes more than a few stray bullets for him to lose his cool. Confident and fast-talking, he's a true professional and a force of nature. Now ooh, Pearl. Pearl is an expert con artist and infiltrator. She leaves nothing to chance, and it's a rare occasion when things don't go her way. But if the situation calls for it, she's no stranger to firearms. Make no mistake, she is a vicious fighter. Oh, Pearl. I like the mask. On the goddamn ground. Pearl's new to the game. Yeah, I noticed. This is Hoxton. Hello, Hoxton. Hoxton is the foul-mouthed Englishman. There always needs to be a foul-mouthed Englishman, doesn't there? With an attitude. A thug with a brilliant mind that matches his brutal deeds with even harsher language. Oi! It's Tuesday, isn't it, bruv? Oi, you bloody wanker! He doesn't mince words, is loyal to his friends, and always brings his A game to the heist. I like the sounds of him. What is this? Hey. Oh! Ooh, block player. No, no! Okay, I'm gonna go as Joy, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna go as Joy for now. Suits, I don't have any. I don't have anything. Vendors. I'm gonna need some fucking shmoney. Challenges. Heist, career, combat. And more. Okay, why don't we just go to Heist? Hey, everybody who's been following me, thank you so much for the follows and welcome to the Syndicate. No rest for the wicked. Wait, what's this?
Good thing I was able to reach you guys. The whole thing moved so fast, I almost didn't connect the dots in time.
Yeah, thanks for the heads
Hi,
up.
Buff!
Jade, right?
Don't worry about it.
Hi!
I made a promise to Bane to watch
hold
your
on.
backs.
Yeah. Great.
This is very loud.
What the fuck happened?
Hi, Buff! Buff, your debut is
Carefully
amazing!
planned. All the attacks happened at the same time.
Of course they started playing this video.
We're broke.
Can I get a shout out for Buff Buff? Thank you so much. Buff, you're awesome. Yours is amazing. Thank you! I'm in the middle of a casino heist, so I thought Payday 3 would be a great game to play right now.
Pissed off more than a few powerful
But no, I loved your debut so much. It's the coolest thing. And you could tell so much hard work went into that. And I love the idea. Like, I love the lore behind it. It's very, like, I don't know, it's just cool and spoopy and gloopy, and I love it. This is the perfect game for you. I played Payday 2. Not very much, but a little bit. And when I heard that Payday 3 was coming out, I was like, yes! Only problem is that when it came out, there was a lot of problems with it, I heard.
All right, enough talking. Let's get through.
You didn't expect all these compliments? Well, you deserve them. I just think there's a lot of cool stuff going on right now, and it's such an exciting... I don't know. It's a good time to be a VTuber. And to be a VTuber fan, you know? Just a good time, because, like, I don't know. I just love seeing all the cool stuff that people do and all the creative things that people make. and working with like artists and people that do rigging and editing and music and all of that. It's really neat. VTubers are killing it. Yeah, really. Really. I feel like we all just keep like, I don't know. As we keep going on, we're just gonna keep crushing it. How long does it take to design the VTuber skins? I mean, that depends on a lot of things, really. Like some people, they might not take very much time at all. So to give you an idea for my outfits, my 3 outfits, I have 3 of them. I started designing these with Rikito back in like December, or I guess like beginning of January, because I had done my 2.0 debut in December and then we had a little break. And then in January was when we started designing the outfits. And then we had the designs down and yeah, 3. I have 1 more, but I've been releasing them 1 per weekend because I wanted to give my artists a chance like to make sure everything was done. I didn't want to rush them. But like bits and pieces, like some things were done earlier, some things were done not quite yet. So I was like, oh, I'll just stagger it. I'll do it like 1 on this day, 1 on this day, 1 on this day. And then I have 1 part, like a new piece of the lore video, to go with each outfit. So it's like last Saturday was, oh, I'll show you this one. If there's any new people who haven't seen my dress. Yes, and I also got, my fursona is a coyote, and I have fluffy ears and tail in VR chat on my model. So I got this added so that way I could have it sometimes if I want to. It's not like canonically a thing. I just wanted to have it. And some people think I'm a fox or a wolf or whatever. I don't care. I don't care. People can call me whatever. I like being part of Floofy Ears and Tail gang. Especially because I have it on my 3D model and it just feels so comfy. I like it a lot. I am biased. I'm really excited. I'm really excited. Now I can bork. Hi, Hootie. How are you? But yeah, I'm a coyote. My fursona is a coyote. I'm like really getting more into it and like, I don't know. I chose coyote because, I don't know, they're very misunderstood, but they can be very, you know, they could be a little bit, rambunctious. But they're very cute and I like coyotes a lot. And also Wile E. Coyote is like a cartoon character, right, that people know. Wile E. Coyote, and it's like YLE Coyote, get it? So yeah, there's that. And then of course the bunny suit. So now that we've infiltrated the casino, I had to blend in with the staff and I was able to steal the key card to get downstairs into the vault. And now next week we're going to be doing part 3, which is breaking into that vault, and then we have to get the fuck out of there. The ears and tail are the gateway to freedom. I know. Honestly, I'm good. I'm happy. I love furries, and I probably am one myself. I don't know if I will ever get like, I don't know much about furry culture, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know if I'll ever get like a whole ass fursuit or anything like that. But I know that in VR chat, I don't know. I love a lot of the furry models that are in VR chat, and I think they're very cute and pretty, and some of them are hot as fuck. And I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. One of us. Buff Puff's werewolf form is a gateway to furry. Dude, Buff Puff's models and everything. You guys have to check out everything that Buff did. I'm hopeful that people did see, because it was huge. But if you didn't, if you somehow were like, you know, under a rock or fell off the face of the earth, please go check out the latest debut. It was the coolest shit ever. Like, really. You really outdid yourself. Coming to the dark side. Yeah. Fucking VR chat. I blame VR chat 100%. There's that time I almost fucked a furry in VR chat. I mean, just kidding. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. That doesn't happen. Keyword is almost, though. It never happened. Yeah, VR chat is not a place for that, guys. That's banned. You're not allowed to do stuff like that. It's a joke. Hee hee ha ha. Buff is trying to turn all of us into furries. I mean, it's kind of working, isn't it? Elly ERP. ERP? What's that? All I know is ERP. ERP. ERP, who would do that? Other than Camila, of course. I will convert every VTuber. The mission! The mission! VR chat has some talented peeps. Oh my god, 100%. I've been really into VR chat lately. I even got my own world commissioned by the amazing Kay. And we have VR chat meetups and parties if you guys want to join. Yeah. KVRC is one of them. Kay is an amazing world designer and creator in VR chat. So if anybody wants a commission, KVRC made this huge ass world for me. It's beautiful. It is literally the Syndicate HQ garage and nightclub. And there's even my vault, which is where my office is. They're even gonna make my bedroom. There's private dance rooms. There's a whole ass like stage. There's a whole ass movie theater. It's beautiful. And they made it in not very much time at all. Made a huge ass for you? No, I made a huge ass for me. You would love to explore more VR. I mean, hit me up, Hootie, if you ever want to. We can hang out. I could take you to some cool worlds and stuff and show you the ropes. That goes for all my friendos. Any of my VTuber friends, if you are unfamiliar with VR chat, I just got into it recently, like probably just last year. So I don't know as much as some people do, but I could definitely show you a thing or two. And I'm going to be planning a lot more VR chat events and parties and stuff. So if anybody wants, to check those out. We have community events, community parties. I have some for just like my really tight-knit friendos, like that kind of stuff. Alrighty. Let's see here. What are we doing? We already watched this video. I wasn't really paying attention.
This bank has an unusually large amount of cash in its vault. Breach it and steal everything inside.
Okay.
Let's get you back in the saddle. This is a small
pretty
bank, usually low traffic. But there's been a mix-up in the money transport schedule, meaning there's a lot more cash than usual in the vault. Decide how you want to do this. Beat the security gate and quietly gain access to the vault, or go in guns blazing and burn your way through the roof. It's your call. You've done this a million times.
We're going in guns blazing.
But hey,
I am not stealthy. Great outfit. Thank you, Gabriel. You need to choose. Okay, Phoenix, thank you. But I get it, buddy. You don't gotta tell me what to do, okay? New model already? This is actually not a new model. What do you mean already? The only time I had a new thing was in December, bro. It was almost a year ago. It's new outfit. I got 3 new outfits and 2 new hairstyles, and I just got some new toggles and stuff. But there's still the other models that I have. Here, I'll show you. This model is actually... It's gonna lag a bit. Why is it taking... Oh, the lag. The lag. The lag! But yeah, as you can see, it's like the same model. Only thing that's different is the titty. And just new outfits. Every time I load a new model, it lags like crazy at first. Let me just try to fix that. Connect. Stop. Stop, please. There we go. I fixed it. You love all my fits? Thank you! That's one thing I really like to have for my stuff. I like to have different outfits. And I've been rocking the same 2 outfits for a while. Actually, technically, I had 3. I have a swimsuit. I have my athletic outfit with some stuff. And I have my OG outfit. And now I have some 3 new ones which go along with my big casino heist. Scotto, thank you very much. And Mighty Ninin, thank you so much for the 20 months. Scotto, thank you for gifting us up to Hootie Hoo. Thank you. Every model, the booba get bigger. Actually, they don't. It's the same size. It's just... I feel like a lot of you guys don't know anything about boobs. No offense. But I feel like you might not have seen any up close. No offense. But you know, sometimes when somebody with breasts wears a sports bra, like I am now, it's can you teach us? You know, it's like strapping them down so they don't bonk you in the fucking face when you exercise. Yeah, something tells me you guys might need some education. I don't know. Some of y'all. Kind of hard to know anything for something we don't have. I mean, I could be really mean, but I think I should be nice. I don't think I should be mean and bully people. All I'm saying is there is a way that you could know more about them. You know? It's called getting a girlfriend. It's called go touch some grass, bro. And hopefully consensually touch some boobies. Anyway. Yeah. So yes, I didn't get like completely new models. Like all of my hair is the same except I got a couple extras. And most of my toggles, my expressions, like all of that is the same. Some movements are a little different. Kelly did some re-rigging for certain parts of the model. But a lot of it is just, yeah, new outfits. Yeah. And I let the girls out. I normally wear a fucking sports bra, so... Alright, let's get my other model back. It's gonna take a little bit of time. And then we'll get into the game. How does that sound? Ba-ba! Boo-boo-boo! Or not. Or not. I know a way to do this. Whee! Bro, come on, you can't expose me like that. Dude, I'm just saying, it's okay not to have a girlfriend, but... You know? Everybody's always like, your boobs got bigger, Elly. It's like, how do you know anything about my boobs, A? Have you been studying them? You better be. We have a hype train! Thank you for the level 1 hype train! Imagine not being scared of women in 2023. Bro, I know it. I know. I know, right? Women, they're so scary. They're terrifying creatures. I cannot talk to them. I can't even look at them. I can't look them in the eye. Funny. But yeah, it's the same model, just a couple things added. Like all my hair, I have all the same ones as before. Ponytail. I have my usual down hair, which looks like this. I have bun. Bun. Nana, thank you for the biddies. Thank you so much. What are those grenades attached to? The one that was in my dress. It's attached to my dress. I have twin tails. Oh, that's kind of cute. That's actually pretty cute. Melons! Zooey Mama. Can you not say Zooey Mama for this? Isn't that from that fucking, what's it called? My baby cousins read those books. Isn't that Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Can you please not say Zooey Mama in this context? God damn it. Stop. Shut up, chat. Shut up. Stop.
Wait.
Thank you.
Elly,
Thank you for the raid.
Elly, the raid.
Thank you so much.
Elly, the raid.
Hi, Forza. How are ya? Anywho. Stop saying it, Melons. Look what you did. Look what you fucking did, bro. How's your day, Melons? Welcome in. You love the short hair? I think the short hair looks really cute with bunny suit. All right, I guess I could go public lobby. I don't think I'm gonna have to talk to people, am I? Guys, I don't want to talk to people. Ew. Talking to people is gross. Difficulty, definitely overkill. Fuck no. Definitely, normal. Yeah, there's no in-game voice, right? I didn't think so. Let me drink some more coffee. One sec. I got iced coffee. All right, matchmake. So, nobody judge me. It's my first heist in this game. I know it's probably similar to Payday 2, but I didn't play too much Payday 2. Ooh, look at our team. Look at our team. I'm a baby. No assets selected. I don't have any assets, bro. Whatever. I'll just say ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Hi, Sora. It's not like Payday 2. Oh, really? Hi, Heist Day. I did the tutorial and a lot of things seemed, I don't know. Like if you played Payday 2, then you kind of know the gist of what the game is going to be like, but I'm sure they changed a lot of things. All I'm saying is that compared to other games, it's probably going to be the most similar to Payday 2, don't you agree? But of course, it's a brand new game, so... Hi, boys. Are we just gonna walk in like normal people?
Keep your eyes open.
Dude, I don't even remember how to... Ooh. Can I go this way? I know that as soon as I put my mask on, the heist starts. And we have to be very sneaky. Wow, they're so sneaky. How do I crouch? So sneaky. Did you get the door open? Oh my goodness.
Now we need to get past the gate in front of the vault.
We're so sneaky. We're putting our mask on. How do you put the mask on? G?
You need to take out the power before you can disable the lock.
Oh,
Find the
it is
circuit
G.
breaker connected to it.
This. Guard, over there.
Oh. Okay, you go first. You go first. You go first. Get in there. I'm not stealthy, bro. Can you like peek over? Oh shit. What is that? What did I just put there? Is it gonna blow up? Oh. Dude. Turn around. Turn around. Oh, it's a micro cam. Oh, that's a great place to put it. Can I take it back? Uh-oh, something's up. Look at this guy. He's just strolling in there. Nothing to see here, bro. Uh-oh. Ah! Oh my god, what did he just do? What happened? Okay, we're going.
Down your fucking twat.
Uh-oh.
Don't
Oh!
fucking muscle.
Oh my god. Okay, so we got a hostage. Oh, fuck!
Don't take another. Hey!
Oh, fuck.
All right.
Okay, we're going in, boys. How do you tell them to get on... How did they get on the ground? Is it F? Oh my god. Oh, middle mouse. Okay. Get on the fucking ground! What's this? Are we not killing these guys? Oh, okay, we are. I was like, why are you not killing the security guy? I feel so bad that I just shot that poor security man. He's just doing his fucking job. Ooh, what's this all about? Ooh. Wait, how do you... Do you click it? Oh. Did I do it? How do you do this? Oh! What is this? Oh my god, there's so much stuff. What's this? Refill? I don't want ammo refills. What do I do? How do I get upstairs? Okay, they're getting hostages.
Hit the deck.
Okay, seriously? How did you get up there? Do I take the elevator? Gotta get the thermite and burn a hole in the floor into the safe. Oh. Oh, did he like... Oh, I'm so stupid. Duh, I found the stairs. Hi. He already has a bag. In the hallway above the vault? Like right there? Oh my god. I am so smart. I am so smart.
Bag of ammo. Right here.
Wah!
In 30 seconds, get ready.
Oh my god. I'm so helpful. Oh shit. If we add more bags,
Do it.
add more what? So what are we adding to the fire? Hopefully we're doing this right. I think we are. Ooh, a grenade!
The water from the sprinklers is affecting the thermite. Turn them off. We don't
How do you turn off the sprinklers?
Hit the deck.
How do you turn off the sprinklies? Can I open this fucking door? How do you open this fucking door? Wait. Oh, thermite! Okay, so we have to bring this
watch
and
the
put it
hostages. Rescue
into
teams have arrived.
the thing. Where's the thermite? Okay. Okay, is it, how do you throw? Ah! Bro. This is so fucking good. How do you turn the sprinklers off? Can I just shoot it? How do you turn it off? Disable the sprinklers. It's like, something is over here. Hey. Oh, turn off sprinklers. That was easy. What's this? Look for the red wall panel. I found it!
Interesting. A Wixia executive has a safe deposit box in this very bank. If you go by an office, look around to see which box it is.
What's this? Ammo refill? Okay, there's another thermite bag. I don't know if anybody got that one yet. I'm gonna add more.
He's dead. Gun here.
Stay sharp. The cop sabotage squad rolling in.
Oh my god, there's so many.
Tactical cover. Line up. I got the bloody shield.
Is the other bag out here? It is. Wait, what the fuck? Where am I? I thought it was over here. I'm so lost. I'm so lost. Okay, there's like a fingerprint thingy that says it's like pointing over this way.
Done, people. Keep your masks on.
Man, I gotta turn this shit off again. That's annoying. Where is it? Same spot? Why would it be turned on again? This is my first time. Hey, I have a whole team of people. I am not the only person. Trade hostages for resources. Police regrouping. Add thermite to the fire. Do we have... What's that? This says... Oh, we gotta go up the stairs. Stairs were like... Here? Wait, what's this? I don't remember. Oh, here's the stairs. Where do I get to whatever what is this? Oh, more thermite. Got you. Easy, easy. Easy.
More cops on the way. They're in 30 seconds.
The perfect heist. Yes. Get in there. Ah, my eyes. Ah, fuck. Dude, my team doesn't know what the fuck. Are they AIs? No, they're real people, right?
Thermite's all the way through. Get ready.
No offense. I like they're great and all. Wait, I don't know how to like move that. The hostage. How do I? The hostage is gonna get shot. I don't want to shoot the fucking hostage. How do I make him not follow me anymore? Oh no. Whoa, what are these? Ooh. Bro. Hi.
Push up behind the shield.
Ah! This is really bad.
They've deployed the hostage rescue team.
I'm losing my pace, Shay.
Ooh, something just happened to me, man. What was that all about? I already have full health. Can you leave me the fuck alone, dude? Okay, what do we do right now? Oh, this dude is still alive. Stop being alive! Thank you. Uh-oh, that guy doesn't... I don't like that one. Oh, he had a taser! Again? Are they on the roof? No. This is so fun. I love this game. Hello, copper. Oh. Yippee. Oh, that's so cool. Now what do I do? Find the executive's deposit box. How? Do we just lockpick all of these? Like... Ooh, I got some shmoney. Oh my god, look at all the money over here!
Should we get more?
Yeah? Duh, we should get more.
No way! Let's clean them out!
Yeah, let's fucking get more. This is super cool! I can't believe you can, like, pick every individual one. Maybe there will be something really good in there. Man.
Joy has gone down.
Oh no, Joy! Where are they? How do we get to them?
The cops are sending in bulldozers.
Can I not go through this fucking window? Hello? Oh, you can. Uh-oh, there's a lot of cops out here. This is bad.
Get your game faces on.
Oh my god. Did they get them up? Okay, good. What are we supposed to do? Like, where's our car that we put stuff into? Ah! Who the fuck is that? Oh my god! Are you like a vigilante? Like, what are you? Oh my god. Police ninjas? I didn't know they have those now. Okay, I have to figure out where we put our stuff, like our money once we get it. Oh, I think... Okay, there's something... A symbol over here. Like, what is this? What does this symbol mean? This is... Oh, more thermite. We don't need that. Hi, I don't know what I'm doing. Do they know what they're doing? Hope they're not following me. Hold out until the getaway. Oh, we don't even have a getaway yet. I'm gonna find the box that we need. Guys, I have this feeling like none of them know what the hell we're doing. Right? Steal and secure the money. Okay, good. Okay, so we're... Jewelry, money, cash. Why are they not picking this shit up? Why did y'all not pick up any of this? Oh, I did the... Ah! Help me! The ninja! Datebayo! It's my ninja way!
Got an ammo bag here.
Wait, what's this? What is this? Refill armor? Hog. That is so funny, dude. Naruto! Naruto, what are you doing? Actually, which, like, Naruto character would that guy be? Bro, can you guys stop going down? What is that? Ah! It's a fucking flashbang. Ah! Oh my god, why do you look like that?
Just don't let your guard down.
Holy shit. Guys, get all the money. Come on, let's do it. I like the lockpicking mechanic. It's fun. I feel... Oh! There's an extra bag's worth of cash in there, baby! Holy shamoly! Can I, like, tell people? Can I, like, ping that? I wonder if I can ping... I think I pinged it.
You have 30 seconds until the assault. That's
Big
2.
stacks! 30 seconds? Oh, we can do this in 30 seconds. Easy. We gotta do this fast, though. Clear the area.
They've raised the bollards. Find a way to lower them or
Dude.
we'll be sitting ducks.
We are in big trouble because the longer the time goes on, the harder it's gonna get. However, I think if we can all do this together... Bro, please. Come on, keep him off my ass. Keep him off my ass.
The bollards are going down. Move it.
Steal and secure money. We have lots of money.
Stand ready, guys.
Almost all of it.
Preparing to give it all they got.
I don't want to leave a single penny behind. We can do this shit. We can do it. Final charge. This is the final charge. Imagine we all die because I'm getting greedy. Why can't I pick this up? Hello? Eh. Oh my god. Okay, I think we got everything. Except for that. Okay, we have way more money to pick up in here, guys. Fucking shit! Oh my god! I hate these guys. Help me! Somebody help me! Please! What does this do? I'm gonna die. I'm literally gonna die because of... Thank you! Oh my god! Holy shit! Okay, now... Thank you. How do I heal?
I'll take that.
I don't think I brought a heal as a load for part of my loadout. Okay, now we go deliver the monies. Okay. Wait, how did they go that way? Oh, there's an alleyway. Nice. Ooh, they're on my ass. They're on my ass. Ah! Wait, where did you come from? Nani kore? Oh, I'm about to die.
That's 6 bags.
Oh my god, 6 fucking bags, bro. We can do this. We need more. I need to heal though, but... Ooh, I can blow these things up, I think. Whoa! Flying guns! I threw that bag, didn't I? Dude, if I didn't, that'll be so embarrassing. Where's the vault? I lost it. I am the worst criminal, I swear. I'm the worst crime boss. Nah, I mean, I'm a pretty good boss, right, guys? Just because I have no sense of direction at all and I don't know where things are. I don't know where it is. Ah! Team escape, what do you mean?
Cops are done playing nice. The assault won't stop until you're dead or in custody.
Chat, don't tell her. Tell me! Is it upstairs? I can't remember if I had to go upstairs or not. What's this? What's that alleyway? Behind me? Where is it? Guys, where is it? Tell me where it is. Moolah? Oh, over here? Huh? Where did he just... Oh. Oh. Okay, we got all those bags. There's one more. Okay, they got them. They got them all, right? No, there's one more! Can I pick that up too? I don't think so. Already carrying a bag. Fucking A! Alright, yeah, we're not gonna talk about the sense of direction thing. Okay, we're... Ooh, not up my ass! Did I throw it in? You know what? Maybe we should just get out of here. Maybe we should just get out of here. This is the final charge? I do not know what we should do. Okay, we got out of there. I wanted that money, though. That was so fun. Too close for comfort. Wow, we did a lot of things, though. Good job. Wait, this guy DC. I feel like I probably did some things not quite right, but whatever. It was fun. It was fun. Would love to try and do a stealth. Dude, I need to learn how to do stealth. Heist Day! Heist Day, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime. And Gaming PC Guy, thank you for the 15 months. Colinar, thank you for the biddies. Gorgoth, Freaky, thank you for the 7 months. Oh, my arms hurt so bad, you guys. I did curls the other day, like just bicep curls, but I did drop sets with heavier weights than I usually start with. Like I started with 20 pounds. No. Yeah, 20, and then I went 15, then I went 10. And on 10, I went until exhaustion. And I did that for 3 sets. So I did like 8 with 20, 8 with 15, and then exhaustion with 10. 3 times. And I cannot, like, it's hard to straighten my arms. Kaio, how are you? The short hair is so good. Thank you. Thank you so much, Kaio. How are you? What's up, cutie? Hi, Molly. The short hair with the outfit. Thank you so much. I think short hair definitely works with the bunny suit. I have the short hair, and then this is the hair that was my new one with these outfits. This is supposed to go with my dress. Oh, where's my jacket? There it is. But it's really cool because watch this. Watch the dress. It goes poof. It's so good. Thank you. You got some coffee. I have coffee too. I have iced coffee. I've been digging them. You love the dress. Thank you. Me too. I love, like, I don't even usually wear dresses, but I like this one. I think it's really pretty. It's hanging on by a thread, but you know. How did you do that? Magic. Do you want to see it again? Whenever I think of a magic spell, the first one that comes to my brain is Avada Kedavra. Avada Kedavra! Hey, just fighting for its life. Yeah, same with this bunny suit. I can't do the splits, otherwise it's gonna be, my coochie's gonna be eating it. Okay, where's my hair? I like the short hair too. You're a wizard, Elly. I'm a what? The outfits look beautiful. Thank you, Bucky. I have one more, which I'm going to be debuting next Saturday, October 7th. It'll be my 3rd and final one, as well as some big merch drops and a new original song from me and my band. So next week is going to be the biggest one yet, and the finale of the heist. It'll be lore video part 3, the final chapter. Don't forget Wingardium Leviosa. Exactly. Actually, it's Leviosa, not Leviosa. Ooh, that's so exciting. I am very excited, especially this 3rd and final outfit. It's really special to me. And swish and flick. It's gonna be Pog. Thanks, Melons. Thanks, Kyle. Yeah, me and Rikito and Kelly, we've been cooking for like since January. Wait, another outfit? Yes, I have one more. And this is like I said, my final one is very special for a lot of reasons. The lore video is not on YouTube yet, but it will be after October 7th. The reason why is because I'm doing them in like 3 parts. So it's like 1 part per outfit. Which I can play them again for any new people who might not have seen. Wait, purchase? Someone? Wait, was there a merch perch? What just happened? What was that? Also, thank you for 2,400 subs. We're 90 subs away from 2,500. And Ninan, thank you for the biddies. And Gorga, thank you. You touch grass weekly for maintenance and they'll like, I don't think that'll, no, it's really good to do that. You need to have like other things outside of, you know, being online all the time. I firmly believe people should try to do that. At least sometimes. You really have put a lot of work into all the new outfits. Thank you. We did put so much work. Me and Rikito, like, we're not designers. Like, so it was a lot of work for us and a lot of like references, a lot of like rough drafts and reworks and stuff like that to get all 3 outfits looking exactly how we envisioned them. And I think that they're all very me. They're all very like Elly core. They're perfect for our grand casino heist. And they're unique and beautiful. And I think that Rikito did such an incredible job. And we both like grew a lot. You know what I mean? We both learned a lot. Same with Oi Kelly. The rigging that Kelly did for these is just like, it does them perfect justice and even better than I could have imagined. Thank you, Otaku. Thank you. All right, let's see what time it is. It is 8:20, and I believe that Kuro is having the debut in 20 minutes. I think. If I am correct, K9 Kuro, the new VShojo member, is going to be debuting, I believe, in 20 minutes, and I don't want to miss it. So I'm going to watch, and I'm going to probably raid them and send everybody over there. So I probably have time for one more heist. And any of my friendos, if you guys ever want to heist with me, we should totally play this together and like jump on comms. But it's my first time playing, so I just kind of wanted to play by myself and, you know, get a feel for it. But I love it already. I think it's really fun. I think if we had a team going, we could actually do this heist super efficiently and maybe even stealthy. I've never done a stealth heist successfully. Never. So yeah, maybe like Kay if you ever wanted to play, or Melons. Yeah. The more complex heists need teammates. Exactly. Anyways, let's see. I will do one more heist, and then maybe I'll play my lore videos, and then we'll raid into Kuro and watch the new VShojo member debut. Yeah. Okay, let me look here and see if we got anything new. I don't think, oh. It's a preset? That's scary. No. Do we like this one or do we like the other one? I like this one because it says her name on it. Purchase mask? Kaio, thank you. Thank you for the 2 months. Thank you so much. You're very kind to me. Thanks for resubscribing. Kaio, when are we gonna do something together? I miss you. I love hanging out in your stream. I often lurk your streams. She's so cunty. Serving cunt. She is. I love that she has her fucking name on her mask. Just like Joy. I want a mask that says Elly on it. I have a mask. Where's my mask? I got this one. Elly, I'm down whenever. Pog. Let's figure something out. Let's do something. Hell yeah. Hi, Vonica. Hi. Yeah, we'll try something stealthy. I think stealth could be really fun. Okay. Challenges? 6 out of... Wow, that's a lot. Career. So everything that I do is going to get me... Oh. Am I already level 5? Oh, I am. Wow. And look at all the money that I have already. Does that mean that I could buy something? I could buy this, but... Make your first shot. Is there a way to like compare it to what you're already using? Dude, I should save my money and get this. The Reinfelds. Oh! Do you feel lucky? Punk. Do you? Well, you should. This handgun's the apex of firepower. You already have that pistol? That's what I thought. I think I already have these 2, right? So there's no point in buying it. Arms dealer. Oh, I can buy masks. And I'm pretty sure you can design them with the colors and stuff. I like this one. This one's creepy. Let me see what other masks. This one's so ugly. Ooh, look at them all. I like this one. It's got like tiger stripes on it. Wait, can you design these? Can you like paint them? I don't know. I'm pretty sure you can design it. Oh, mask. Or do you have to buy... You have to buy them. Some of the masks are kind of hot. They are. Dude, I have like a thing for masks. I 100% have a thing for masks. That's why I'm like super into like Like Jason, for example. Or Ghostface. Oh, Ghostface. Yeah. Oh, you do too? Masks are sexy. You could buy colors? Wait, what are these for? Can I do spray paint on the wall? Or is this for my mask? Should I get red or green? Predator wears a mask, true. Okay, I don't know. I like this color, but I also like red. Red. I'm getting it. Yes. This is why I do these heists, you guys, so I can go shopping. Cry me a river. Part Harlequin is kind of cute. 10,000. I'm buying it. What mask do I want to put it on though? Miss Empty. Breacher, I can't afford. Can I put it on the mask that I already have? Purple. Oh. Wait, I want to see. What about clothes for Joy? Eh. Loadout masks. Default. I can't design this one. I have to buy one. Let's see if I can do. Is red one of your favorite? Yeah, it's one of my favorite colors. An unconscious choice when you first made it. My hair is just red, bro. No, it's because my GTARP character, which is what I base my VTuber design and everything off of, is a redhead with green eyes. So it's not because like red is just a good color, but my favorite color is purple. Vendors, mask designer. Should we do? I like this Billy Ballistic or Edged Grin, or the OG. I can't afford these ones. Let's get this one for now. And then we're going to design it and see what it looks like. Okay. How do I customize it? What do I do? How do I... R? Oh, you're a genius. Okay, we could do red. Or I could buy any of these other... Oh. This red is even brighter, but I have to be level 16. Ew. This is so much better. Ooh, you could do like metallic-y. Whoa. Pretty shiny. I kind of like not too shiny. I like this color the best. How do I put the pattern? Oh, here it is. Okay, and then can't I change the color of that though? Oh, pattern, color. Oh. Ah. Oh, which color should we do with it? That looks kind of neat. Red and yellow? We could do red and yellow. What do you think? Red and yellow, red and green. People are gonna think Christmas. Red and purple. Red and purple's kind of pretty. Or red and black. Red and black? Yellow gang. Okay, black or yellow? Black and yellow, black, yellow, or purple? I think we need a poll. Can I get a poll in chat? Black, yellow, or purple? Purple, black, yellow. Burble. Hi, Thicky. Thicky, thank you so much for the 2 months. Thank you. And Valiant, thank you so much for the 6 months. Welcome back, guys. Okay, guys, there is a poll at the top of chat. If you can't see it, just refresh the stream and it'll be up there for you. You'll be able to see it. Black, yellow, purple. I'll do it again. This is black and red, yellow and red, purple and red. Everybody go vote at the top. It looks like black is winning by a lot. So I think we're going to do black. I'll give it a couple more seconds, though, just in case more people didn't get to vote yet. No, black is winning by 63%, so I think we're just going to go for it. Apply change. You need to be 16 to buy... What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh. Okay, I can't get this one yet. I had to be level 16. Damn it! Okay, well, you know, eventually. Eventually. What about this? I can't put this on it yet? I can put this on it, though. Apply changes. Yes. Pog. Okay, that one is ready, but the other one isn't. All right. So now... Ooh, that looks pretty cool. 10 minutes? Oh god, I don't know if we have enough time for another heist. Okay, maybe what we'll do is we won't worry about the heist yet, but this has been a lot of fun, so we should definitely play it again, right, guys? Maybe tomorrow, because tomorrow is what, Sunday? Yeah, tomorrow is Sunday. What do I have tomorrow? Let me check my calendar. Oh, tomorrow is October 1st. Yo, oh my goodness, the homie RPR is having a debut tomorrow, guys, and I'm gonna be hanging out with him. The debut itself, I'm not sure what time, but I'm gonna be hanging out around 3 p.m. EST. Let me check RPR's, First of all, this is, oh my god, that's my ass. This is Mark Okay, none of this is like not safe for work, okay? None of this is naked, it's fine. Anyway, Mark! This is Mark Draw. And he did the art for my lore video, which I'm gonna be playing both the lore videos again. I have part 1, which is done by Rikito, and part 2 is by Mark Draw. Please go commission them if you need any art stuff. Go show them some love. That's Mark. We have Rikito. This is Rikito. You're amazing. Thank you so much for being my artist. And doing a really amazing lore panels and everything like that. And then, of course, Kelly, who did the rigging for my models. They do all my rigging. Kelly-chan. And one last one would be Omorphia, who does awesome, amazing custom backgrounds. I have one more artist I'm going to be featuring in the next lore video, and that'll complete everything. I'm really excited to share that with you. So click on all the links. Don't forget to drop some follows. Show them some love. They deserve it. Oh yeah, I was going to look at RPR and see when his debut is tomorrow, because I'm going to be hanging with him. He's such a badass, honestly. Let me see here. First of all, we're gonna exit the game. Close. This might be loud. Very, very loud. I don't know if that was loud for you, but it was loud for me. Whoa! Shinigami returns to... Why am I blocking the whole ass thing? Sorry, homie. Ooh! New emotes. Ooh! I see a guitar. New covers. I see undies. I see undies. Shout out to RPRX, because Twitch doesn't let people have 3-letter names. But yeah, RPR, he's the homie. Definitely. Please go check out the debut tomorrow, and it's going to be starting at 12. That's noon p.m. EST. Noon Eastern time. So that's I'll be there tomorrow for that. And then I'm probably gonna jump in and hang out with him for a bit around 3 p.m. Oh, it's 2 p.m. EST? Oh, wait. Did he change it? Is that why? Did he change it? I'm confused. I'm confused. Is it 12 or is it 2? It says 12 here. He might have... Oh, he typed it. What a fucking dummy. What a fucking dummy. Haha, RPR. What a dumbass. His own debut announcement. He fucking gave the wrong time. That sounds like something I would do. Time zones are confusing. Time zones are confusing. So 2 p.m. EST. But you know what? Even if you show up at noon, you're not going to miss it. It's better to be early than late, right? You know what? A real fan would show up at noon and wait the 2 hours. That's what I'm going to do. Because I'm a real fan. That's one of my Oshis right there. But yeah, you definitely don't want to miss this. We're going to be supporting the home ERPR tomorrow. And then that's going to be at 2 p.m. EST. And I'll be around there. I think it's like 3 p.m. And then I'm streaming later that night. So I usually start at around 6 or 7 p.m. EST. And we'll play some Payday 3 and maybe some Apex or something like that. I love you too, Tay. I love you. I love you. So yeah, that is... Oh, that's Cyber.
Elly.
Thank
It's a
you.
raid. Elly.
Thank you for raiding
the raid.
me. Thank
Elly,
you,
the
thank you,
raid.
Cyber.
Elly the raid.
Thank you so fucking much. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you, Cyber. Thank you. How is your stream, homie? Thank you for supporting me. Dr. Freeman sigh. I love how you have a new raid message every time. It's so good. Will you play with the Syndicate? What, Payday? I mean, I typically play with like my close friends for games on stream because I want to be able to hop in Discord, and I only really play with people who I trust. I do have viewer game days, so we could play Payday and just like queue up random people. The issue for me is that it's really fucking annoying to like gather everybody and add everybody in the game and add them to my group and blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, it's my stream. I don't want to spend all my time doing shit like that. It's just easier for me to just play with my friends who are already my friends. So no offense if you're a viewer and you want to play games with me. You just got to see it from a streamer standpoint where it's a lot of work for me to organize sometimes. And it's also like, don't forget there's like other people watching. So I really want to make sure that we're like, you know, the content is good and we're keeping things going and that I'm not getting stuck trying to add people into games and stuff. Aw, but I get it. Yeah, but bro, think about it. Like, what streamer out there? Like, I'm sure there's lots of streamers who play with viewers all the time, but like, there's not that many. Like, you guys, that's like asking a lot from a streamer. Can I play, bro? Can I like come on your stream and be a part of the stream? You don't even really know me, but trust me, bro. I could be on your, you know what I mean? It's like, dude, my stream is like my fucking home. It's my job. I gotta make sure that I only bring in people that I really know and that I really trust. So people who are you know, who are like, you should invite me. It's like, bruh, there's like lots of people who want to play. You know, gotta vet the homies. Exactly. Like, I have homies that I enjoy playing games together with, and that's just what I'm gonna do. I feel like a lot of people have those expectations on me, which is really weird. It's kind of weird, champ. People are always like, Elly, I want to play with you. And I'm like, why? Why? Oh my god, Elly, I'm your biggest fan. Please sign my tits and let me play with you. For you, Tay. Of course. Of course, baby. Of course. Oh my god, Tay, I love you so much. Ugh. Anywho, yeah. It's not that I don't love you guys. It's just that it's like, I don't know, it's kind of weird that people would like come into a stream and expect that they just get to play too. Like, that's not a usual thing. Usually, the expectation is you go into the stream and you watch the stream. Participating in the stream is like, that's a pretty rare thing, I would say. She's cooming for me. I'm cooming for you. Elly doesn't give us love. Can I play? Mom, it's my turn to play. Streamer won't play with me, Madge. I thought chat was for? Well, I don't understand. You thought that's what chat was for? Bro, I'm just here doing my thing, man. You guys are welcome to be here, and you don't have to if you don't want to. That's what it comes down to. I'm gonna do my thing with my homies and my friends and with the support of my lovely community and my chatterers and my everybody around me. But it's like, no, the expectation on streams is not that as a viewer you get to play too. It's never been. That's a weird, champ, if you think that way. And if streamers play with viewers, that's great. Good for them, but that is not the expectation. Yeah. Mom said it's my turn to play games with the boss. I know, like people come in every time and they're like, when do we get to play? And I'm like, why do you think you get to play? Chat was our way to interact. Yeah, exactly. Chat, like that's the thing. We get to hang out. We get to talk. We get to experience things together. But the people that I actually like game with and bring into the like stream and stuff, I typically stick with people who I like very much trust. Kuro just went live! Oh! Ah! Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a raid. Oh my god. First time chatterer. Pog. Woo! We're gonna raid them, and I'm gonna see you over in Kuro's stream. And we're gonna welcome the new VShojo member. And I want to say thank you so fucking much for coming today to my second outfit debut. And second part of my lore video debut. Third part is October 7th, which is on Saturday. And I have my third and final new outfit, which I think you guys are going to love. I have my third and final piece of the lore video and a brand new original song and new merch. Lots of new merch. So yeah, you guys can do the raid if you want to. It's probably gonna, like the raid message, whatever you guys want to do. It's popping off in there. It's bumping. So let's get in there. And we're gonna raid K9 Kuro. Kuro is like such a good name. I love it. Okay, here goes the raid. Thank you all so much. Thank you for the subs. If you're a new subscriber, a returning subscriber, if you gifted subs, thank you for the donos and the biddies and all the hype. Thank you for the support today, everybody in chat, my lovely friends and moderators who showed up for me, everybody who lurked today. Thank you so much for the love. I really do appreciate every single one of you. And I hope you had fun, and I hope to see you next Saturday. I'll be back tomorrow for streaming normally, and I'll be able to show off the outfits more and just hang out and stuff. We'll probably, like I said, do some more Payday 3 and maybe some Apex or Valheim or something like that. Thank you, everyone! I can't really see the raid message. There it is. There it is. Okay, there. All right. I can see it. Let's go. Let's go raid. Let's get in there and show Kuro so much love, okay? Bye, guys. Bye, 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 bye.